Coming back to Napa Valley is always a treat, but coming back to seeing good friends and being able to hang out at their winery is a thrill. And I'm here with Pam Starr, and I'm here with Cyrus Hazzard. Cyrus is the newly christened president of Crocker and Starr. Pam is star of Crocker and Starr. And do you have an official title anymore?
I do, actually. I am partner, founding winemaker, and CEO.
There we go. Now it's official. That's a lot to put on a business card, isn't it?
It is. So it's just partner and founding winemaker.
That's cool. It's very
and
good.
Cyrus has more than one title.
Well, what else is your other title?
Partner.
Oh, you're a partner as well. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
That's fabulous, man.
Super excited.
Yeah. Oh, I would be too. Let's talk about your new role as president. You've been here for how many years now?
This is the 4th year in April.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good amount of climbing in a period of time there.
Well, it was a longer journey than just 4 years.
Right. And we did a podcast with you last year.
Yeah.
We got your whole story, which is really astounding, the way that you've handled your career. I give you a lot of credit for that. What's changed for you as president?
As president, as partner, both of those things, I think it's a lot more on my shoulders. I'm really proud of what we're doing here, and now it's our goal to continue to move stuff forward, and it's about growth. Yeah. So the strategic planning was always something that I was part of and doing. Now I'm getting much more to the details with it because it was always my future personally. I always thought that way, but now it's even more important.
Yep.
So your role, Pam, I know you're not sitting back watching the grapes grow like all winemakers do. Does this give you a little more time or just thought process of what the future is going to be?
I have a little bit more flexibility, which I really like. I spend a little bit more time teaching and consulting and kind of shoving 4+ decades worth of experience into every corner I possibly can so that it's left behind without me having to be here. The role of growth is really important. It takes more than one person. And I couldn't be sort of making the negotiations I'm trying to make for more vineyard land, so that we can grow into more parts of the estate vineyard. It's been fun. I usually tend to shy away from doing, business negotiations and financial planning. I wrote the business plan when I started the company, and I've enacted the business plan, I've enacted the wines, and now I'm into, I think, sort of a more grown-up phase of my life. I know that's weird for me to say that to you, but I think that Crocker and Starr is going to grow out of our little shell that we have, 4,500 cases. And we have not a huge lofty goal. It's maybe around 7,000 cases. So it's doable. It's doable with the team we have. So I'm looking forward to all the things we've got up our sleeves.
Well, you open up a door there, vineyard. Have you acquired new vineyard land? Or I'm assuming because you're talking growth, there's something maybe you're eyeing down the road.
Well, Charlie, part of our partnership, original, and now thrupleship, I guess. I don't even know what to call us.
Thrupleship?
Thrupleship? Can you say that?
Big league.
I'll be back on that one. So having 2 partners instead of one, working on acquiring more of the grapes. We have very specific blocks of vineyard here at the estate that we take, and the rest are sold to other people. So that was just part of the original deal, keeping Charlie whole. Paying for farming costs and stuff. So now we're handling farming costs and working closely with our growers. So yeah, just Crocker Vineyard for now, but you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. This is a very challenging time. It's always been challenging to be a winemaker, but I think even more so now when it comes to dollars and cents. Fair?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the economy. A lot of confusion, a lot of hesitancy right now, I believe. What you're seeing is if you look at the economy on its own, it's doing well. But people are a little less open with their wallets right now, and they're a little more thoughtful about what they're doing. And on the opposite side of that, the unknowns ahead of us in terms of what things are going to cost to make or buy materials for, that's something we're saving for and planning ahead, knowing that that's most likely going to come.
It's almost amazing to think you have the ability to save. Wow.
Well, saving is saving on other expenses. It's going back into the business and saying, okay, how much are we paying for warehousing? How much are we paying for our phones, et cetera? And saying, okay, what are other people, what are their rates elsewhere? Moving around a lot of times will save you money.
Pam, you've been here for an awfully long time in the Valley. And again, there's always change. It's a constant. What are you seeing right now, and what are you seeing maybe in the next 10 years in terms of both ownership and growth?
Ooh, good question. I would have to say that sort of the voice in the Valley, Napa Valley, is of concern, but we're a very hopeful group of people. In farming, we have to look towards the future and resiliency because it takes years to get a grapevine to yield grapes of the quality we want. So we're sort of planted that way as a people. I think what you're going to see is consolidation. We saw that probably in the 89, 90 era, 91, consolidation of wineries. We're going to see a lot more groups of people who are buying vineyards together as a consortium. The small wineries will see some fold, and there are many for sale, but not of significance yet. I think one of the benefits to having viruses at this point in your vineyard, if you're pulling vines out, you're pulling them out for a real reason, and maybe not replanting. And we're doing that. You're going to see a lot of that over the next 5 years. Fallow land. The valley won't look vacant of vines. Trust me, you won't even. I don't think consumers driving through the valley will ever notice, but. You can make a 25-year business plan in the wine business, and it goes by with a blink of an eye based on how long it takes to grow grapes, translate them into great wine, and then build consumer confidence in a loyalty program where people want to hang with you for the rest of your term as a winery.
Well, it's one thing nice about the business here, and especially Napa, is people do fall in love with the brand and stay with it because it's that quality. Cyrus, why is wine important?
Why is wine important? There are so many reasons wine is important. Wine is a great connector, for one. Wine is lifestyle, and it's been a lifestyle for centuries, for generations. People have been drinking wine. It's a beautiful alcohol. It tastes great. Its function is not to get you intoxicated. Its function is to enhance a meal or enhance a relationship with someone as you're sitting there learning about people. So wine has. I don't know other beverage in this world that I know of, or food for that matter, frankly, does that.
Sure.
Maybe truffles.
Truffles? Truffles, caviar? No, not quite caviar, truffles. Yeah.
So I ask you, Pam, the same question. Why is wine important?
Wine's important because we can bring the concept of farming to anybody in the world in a really delicious form. The connection to agriculture is a real miss for consumers today, I think. And though it's a historic product, it's a time capsule. Wine is also a connection to what it's made from. And here in Napa Valley, people come from all over the world to look where their grapes grow that go into their wine. We don't go visit, lettuce fields, and we're not checking out asparagus, but wine keeps the consumer connected to the only ingredient really that goes into wine, which is grapes. Grapes is wine. And I don't think I would have said that statement maybe 40 years ago because I feel that the consumer base was still very connected to agriculture. They knew where their wheat really came from. And there's a very big disconnect in watching people shop today. I'm just very grateful that my hands get in the dirt almost every day, either at home or here at the vineyard. So wine's really important to keep humans connected to where their wine comes from.
Storage is an issue on two sides. One is in the retail level, one is in the home level. And I know in the home level, many purists get freaked out about, does your chiller vibrate? Does your room vibrate? Are you next to railroad tracks or airports? That sort of thing. But also in retail. I'll give an example. In Chicago, there's a store, Binny's. I'm sure you're familiar with it. All the wines are in bins, nicely stored. There's a couple of stores I know of that have typical shelves, and it never fails to where the top of the line wines are always on that top shelf. Does that bug you? Is that where your baby is out there and it's not being put in the right place in your mind? And is that something that the consumer should be freaked out about?
Oh, I don't think anybody should be freaked out about anything, really. I think we just need to deal and make change happen. But storage is an issue. And back in the day, Domaine Chandon, back in the late 70s, I think Donnie Dyer might have done this experiment. I replicated it in the 80s, called Light Struck Wines. And Light Struck really was focused in on first by the sparkling wine sector of winemaking. And light can strike through a clear glass and change the wine's composition within an hour. And so clear glass is, you don't see as much of it today as you used to back in the 70s and 80s. Clear glass is not a good protector of wine. And so watching wines on top shelves in a retail shop, first of all, there should be no wine past the point of which you can reach your hand up to grab it. And secondly, there should always be a hood over those wines so that lighting above the storage box where they're being showcased is at least protecting from above.
And you're not just referring to light coming from the outside. I assume you're talking about fluorescent or whatever in the store, direct light from the spotlight. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't think I gave it that much
Yeah,
thought.
I mean, people at home worry about where they're storing wine. They shouldn't worry so much about it because there are a lot of places in many homes, condominiums, townhouses, where it's dark and it's the same temperature all the time. So, and having enough storage, well, that's another comment or two. I also think people hold on to their wine too closely. Like, pop the cork, have fun with it. Like, there's no one right time to open a bottle of wine. That's why we had, try January, and we did come on over October promotionals with the Napa Valley Vintners Association, and actually it went kind of viral as well through Karen McNeil. And I think that we need to stop holding on. We need to pop and share. And I'm part of the last part of the boomers, and so I feel like maybe we showed people how to make a really beautiful wine cellar, but now we need to show them how to pop a cork. Yeah.
Your own personal cellar, Cyrus, you got some old stuff at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly they're old because I've forgotten I had them and I couldn't get to them. So it's more about access than it is about holding on to them on purpose.
It's funny because I talk to people about that very same thought. You can have a catalog, you can have all kinds of documentation, but once it maybe goes to the back shelf of a chiller, or if it's in a shelf in the dark somewhere, I think part of your brain just lets it go hide from you.
It hides from you.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
There's a good deterrent too. Right now, Pam has been gracious enough to store most of our wine, and it's all in boxes, so I can't see them. I have to literally unload boxes, and I don't know what's in every box, so it's kind of like a treasure hunt. So I run out of steam about halfway through the cellar, so that's as far as I get, and then the next time I have enough energy, I'll try the other side of the cellar.
I'm available at 7 o'clock. I can come by and store those bottles for you. Last time I came through, we talked about the 24 vintage, and now it's, I guess you could say, hanging out. What are your thoughts about it at this particular point?
Oh, we're super excited about what we got. Yeah, it's going to be an incredible vintage. Wines are concentrated. Been a lot of hard work done in that winery. I got to participate a little bit here and there with roly-polies and punch downs and all that, but what we've been tasting is just truly, truly incredible stuff.
Do you get a chance to get your hands dirty that often? I mean, it's crazy. You got so much to do.
Well, I have to be out there. If I don't know what's going on in there and I don't understand and I'm forever learning, right? I think that's one thing that people don't understand about the wine business, but I'm forever learning from this wonderful lady over here, but from every piece of the product and history that we have here that goes in. Every vintage is a new part of history. And it's different every year. Yeah. It's never the same.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the big part of the fun.
Our entire team actually participates. So hospitality, not so much finance. She likes to take pictures with us every once in a while, but she's not here all the time either, so to be fair. But everybody participates, even husbands, wives, friends.
Obviously, the tasting room here, to the best of my knowledge, is by appointment. Can people walk in? Is that a possibility, or is that something you should really not plan on doing?
Well, we have those, and we, of course, because we're in the hospitality business, we will take good care of them. But we prefer by appointments because that allows you to truly get the experience of sitting here, and we're prepared to host you, which means you get more out of your visit. And
Pam, for our listeners, I think I've asked you this question 400,000 times. What is your website?
It is www.crockerstarr.com.
Both of you, and your smiling faces, you just kind of light up the day. Thank you very much for making me, over the years, feel so totally welcome here. Thanks for taking the time today, too.
Ray, you're just like our customers. We definitely try to make everybody feel like they can come back year after year, week after week, day after day. Everyone's welcome.